Happy Friday, everyone. Hey, y'all remember me? I'm here. Shannon made it. Yay. She made it. I'm so glad you made it, Shannon. There's Rosie and Sharon. Whoop, whoop. Yes, it is Friday night. I'm going to go back to the top. Take it from the top. It's MDL. And Nancy Mack is here. Yay. And she got her winnings, y'all. I'm so glad you're happy with it, Nancy. I'm so glad. And Laura's here. Hey. And hi, Brett, or thank you, Brett, whichever works. Joan's here, and I'm so glad you made it tonight, Joan. I know you're not always able, and I'm so glad you're here. And Naomi from Fluffy Boots is here, too. She made it. I'm glad this time worked for you, Naomi. I know you have other things you'd like to do on Friday also. Hello, Roseann. Good evening. And guess what? We have sisters in here because Laura and Linda are sisters. Laura is Knit for Brains, and Linda is her sister. So glad y'all are both here tonight. That is just so cool. That's just making me grin from ear to ear. And Bridget made it. Yay. I know. Isn't that cool? Roseann says just chilly and rain. Well, that's good. That's good. A little chilly there too. We were cooler today also. We were pretty warm for a couple days, but we were a little and pretty windy today. But I'm so glad you made it, Shannon. Whoop, whoop. And what you making? What you making, Sharon? She's probably making stuff for the kiddos. Rosie, did you get your yarn that you were going to make something with? She was ordering yarn to make something. Lorna's here. Good evening, my friend. How are you? Did you see? Okay, Lorna. Steven's going to have a podcast. Don't know if you caught that. Woo, there's the naughty knitting sacks. Katie is here. Yay. I have the package. I just haven't opened it yet, Katie. Maybe I can open it here in a little bit. Maybe I will do that. Hey, Sally. Sally's always eating something good there, you know. Just can't help it. Frozen's here tonight. Oh, I'm so good to see you. Yeah. Using the emojis. That's cool. You got the flashy emoji. I know. It's Laura. She's here. And Linda's here too. Hey, Kathy. Good to see you. I hope you don't have any snow. Just when I think my weather's weird, then I look and Kathy's got snow again. Oh. Let's see. Comfortable with the air conditioner on. Me too. I'm hoping I don't have to turn the second one on. But sometimes when I have all the lights and stuff in here. Yep, doing doll blankets and assorted squares. Oh. He is. I got to try to remember. I'll see if I can't look it up on Instagram for you guys. You didn't get your yarn yet. Oh, bummer. Okay. Hey. Ooh, I did that fast. Tonight's drink is in my California cup. And it is a tea. And this tea was sponsored by Joyce. And it is called Buttery Shortbread Herbal. Honey bush tea, cocoa peel, blackberry leaves, and flavor essence. There was just enough in here for one bag. So, and I haven't tried it yet. So let's give it a try. Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that one, Joyce. I really like that one. That one is really, really good. Okay. Those that don't know, here on my channel, on Friday nights, we do crime. This is a stitch and crime, and we usually are making something at the same time. Right now, the Daybell trial, I call it the dumbbell trial, is going on. And so, in honor of Tammy Daybell, I have some essential oils going also. And this is one that I was selling. I don't sell them anymore. But this was my brand. It was the Essential Blossom. And this one's called the Briezee. It's got eucalyptus, laurel leaf, peppermint, and geranium. So in your honor, Tammy, we're doing essential oils because Mr. Pryor really likes to bring that up every chance he gets. Oh, and Joyce is here. Joyce came in. Where's she at? There she is. Hey. It's so good. It's really good, Joyce. Happy Friday, Bree. How are you tonight? Oh, she's traveling, but she can't talk. Okay, no problem. So glad you came and left your DNA. Oh, it is. It's really good. Yep, having coffee. Well, I've had coffee all day today, so I'm like cutting back a little bit and doing the tea. They're really good teas. I forgot. But it doesn't say on here. This little package doesn't say. You'll have to tell everybody where that's from because I don't remember, Joyce. It's on one of my other ones. Okay. So I took lots of notes the last 2 days in the dumbbell trial. Just stop it. The fitness app is like trying to tell me what to do. I'm doing something else right now. So I just have a lot in my notes that I really wanted to talk about. So we're going to talk about that after we talk about the book. I want to go ahead and let's talk about the book first and get that out of the way. And then if you guys want to stay, then we're going to talk about the dumbbell trial. So how's that sound? I hope that sounds good. Need both hands. What are you doing? Someone fell down a rabbit hole of English paper. I saw that. I saw your first post where you had like 4 or 5 of them put together and they were looking really good. Yeah. You taking a brisk walk? Okay. All right. So I want to finish with chapter 13. And then I also want to cover chapter 14. And then I think we should be able to do this in 2 more Fridays. I'm hoping, unless there's a lot, because we're towards the end here of 14, chapter 14, we're going to open another can of worms. So there's going to be a lot with that, but we'll get into that here in a minute. So are you guys ready? Now let me show y'all the washcloth that we're going to do. And I don't know why the lighting looks weird because I have all the lights on. So I don't know. I hope y'all can see. But the washcloth tonight, this one is Red Heart Smoothie Neapolitan. Using a eye hook. And for this one, it's going to be the treble crochet. And you're going to chain 28. So you're going to chain 28, and then I want to do a single crochet back for this one. because I don't want to do it where the treble is right there. I want to do a single crochet back. So this is our washcloth tonight. So chain 28. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oops, that's a little tight. I know. That's what she said. I'm not sure if Chelse will be here tonight because she was having some back pain. So she's supposed to be on the ice packs. Okay, I think that's 28. And tell me, oh yes, he was sentenced, right? Frozen, what was the sentence? Because I didn't see it. Adam Montgomery was sentenced for the killing of Harmony, right? I missed that because I was watching the other trial. Can you tell me what he got? Okay, got it. Got my 28. I don't know why my nose is running. "45 years to life." Good. That's good. I knew that one could be just a little bit hard to do because you know they had to really work at getting that sentence. I suspected I was going to have to turn my air down, y'all. It just gets really stuffy in here. Okay, when we left off the last time on chapter 13, we talked a lot about Maureen. And this chapter is right in the center of the book. It covers a lot. The first part of this chapter covers a lot of the media attention. Hey, Vanessa. Consecutive. Good. So he got both. He got the abuse of a corpse too. Good. Oh, that is awesome. It's such a long-awaited sentence for him. Very long-awaited sentence. It's good to see you. A total of 68 plus. Nice. That one is just heartbreaking. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and do my singles. Now, after the discovery of the bodies on Ocean Parkway in Gilgo Beach, the Gilgo 4 were discovered. There was a lot of media attention, okay? And he talks a lot about the media, about like Nancy Grace, about all the experts talking about, you know, who the killer might be, some kind of like psychological profile stuff. I mean, he said it just exploded. Once those 4 bodies were, and everybody started talking serial killer, it just exploded with all kinds of media. And Gilgo Beach has just been in the news pretty much ever since, just strictly as Gilgo Beach. And, you know, I do have on our very first meeting for this edition of the book club, I did put a list of all of the documentaries that I knew about. So you can go back and look in the description underneath those other in the podcast playlist, and you can find the list of those. Joel Rifkin, serial killer from Long Island, also weighed in on the 4 bodies left on Gilgo Beach, saying that he thought that was a stupid move, leaving the 4 bodies in I don't know his exact words, to be honest, but he said he didn't think it was smart to leave them all in one place, that it was better if you spread them out. You know, your run would be a lot longer if you spread them out. And on a side note, for those of you that don't know, Joel Rifkin and Rex Huberman have written to each other in prison. Mostly talked about the food. But yeah, that happened. Now, the rest of the chapter goes into more detail and about the families. And so I feel like it is like kind of from a different angle. Now, when you get to the end of this, after you've done the single crochets, you're going to chain 3 and turn. And you're not going to go into the same stitch. You're going to go into the second stitch. Yarn over twice. We're going to go in and go 2, 2, 2, and this is going to be our triple crochets. Now, if you would like to make it more interesting and add a little more texture, you can go in the back loop if you want to. I'll leave that up to y'all. Hey, Dawn. Good to see you. Yeah, they're BFFs now, right, Joan? Writing back and forth to each other, one serial killer to another. That's what happens, y'all. Now, we talked, like I said, we talked about Maureen. And that I feel like it's entirely possible that Maureen is going to help bring Huberman down. Because she went missing from Penn Station. She was communicating with a client in Manhattan. Her phone last pinged on Fire Island. And as we know, there were bodies found on Fire Island that got connected to bodies found on Gilgo Beach. So I don't know what you guys think. I think they will all have a part in taking him down. But yeah, there's something about the way Maureen went missing and all of the things. She was on video at that hotel. There's just a lot of things that make me think that she's going to be really integral in this. And also, if you have a channel, you can put the word teal, T-E-A-L, like, you know, if it's teal, it's Jill. So put the word teal in. You don't need the exclamation, and your channel will be dropped. Hey, Annie. Hey, Tammy. Yay, Tammy made it tonight. She got her hat, and she looks so cute in her hat. We have lots of creators in here tonight, so I hope you guys will check them out. So now the next part of the chapter, we hear more about Melissa's family. Now, her parents and her other parts of her family supposedly were unaware of what Melissa was doing. She was living in New York. Her family had a restaurant, and the whole family was involved in this restaurant, y'all. I mean, the whole family. And they had her husband had been a cook at a different place, and then they had opened a place. Now, her husband, I'm talking about Lynn, who was Melissa's mother. Something about Texas Hot Jacks or something like that. I'm so glad, Tammy. That is so cool. Lots of good stuff went out in the mail this week. Lots of good stuff. Be looking for yours too, Shannon. It supposedly is in Chicago right now because it's got to get over the border. But it's coming. Now, Melissa's parents would send the younger daughter, Amanda, to go see her sister Melissa and spend time with her, because Amanda was a really good girl and had a very, easygoing nature. She is level-headed, and they felt like she might be a good influence on Melissa. They really wanted Melissa to come home. They really did not like her being in New York. They wanted her to come home, and they would help her to try to get on her feet and all those things. But Melissa had a mind of her own. And they would send Amanda to go visit her. And Amanda found out what Melissa was doing just by being there, because Melissa would go on the dates while she was there, and she would wait at her apartment for her. Well, Amanda was forced to tell her parents what happened when she started to get phone calls. I was reading. Yep. There we go. Everybody. Joan saying hi to everybody. So she started to get phone calls. So I don't know how many of you are aware, but Melissa is the one who was getting phone calls from the Long Island serial killer. And the phone calls were coming in on Melissa's phone, from Melissa's phone. She got 8 phone calls in all. That is so stinking good. I like it. I'm double fisting too, y'all, because I do have my water too. Yes, treble crochet. You finished your 52 pickup? We gotta talk about that. We're gonna talk about that here in just a little bit. Yep. I'm not real happy with mine right now. So I have a plan. I have a plan. Okay. the man speaking to Melissa's sister Amanda, the man speaking to her was calling and talking to her in a very low, very calm, very controlled voice. Can you imagine? You will hear her talk about this. We don't see Amanda. I'm talking about the TV movie of the Lost Girls that is on Netflix. She does appear, but we don't see her face for her safety. But she talks about how it was just so creepy. She got all excited when the phone rang and she saw it was Melissa, and then it was this creepy guy. Now, they contacted the police, and starting with the third phone call, they began to record them. And they told Amanda to continue to pick up the phone when he called and to talk to him. And his phone calls got even creepier. They got nasty. They started to be more like some erotic stuff. And the last phone call she got was back in like August of 2009. And he told her, he said, "I'm watching your sister's body rot." I cannot imagine what it could have been like for her to get to hear that. It's just awful. Hola, Maritza. Hey, Nisi. Hey, Ola Joe. Good evening to you. Y'all don't forget to put the word teal and drop for your listening in the background, because dinner time and spending time with hubby. Okay. You made... Okay. Cylinder. I don't understand the cylinder part, though. I don't get that. Someone who wants control, because that is what he is all about. It's not unusual for serial killers. BTK wanted control. And he's still a very, very much like that, trying to get his daughter to come see him, trying to get media attention and stuff like that. I mean, he was all about control and attention. Now, Megan's mom, Lorraine, we find out is very... I don't know how to categorize Lorraine. Her family and Megan's family have problems with her. There's just so much turmoil. If you listen to the earliest part of the book, you will know that's just all the turmoil that went on around Lorraine and her family. And Megan and her brother were taken by Lorraine's mother. And then there's been conflict. There's just always conflict with that family. But the family said she's always wanting attention and always trying to say that she is more involved, has always tried to make herself look like she was more involved in Megan's life than she was, is what they are saying about her, when she wasn't. Amber's sister Kim is always in and out of sight. And if you remember, Amber Barnes is the one who went missing, and the night she went missing, the roommate, Dave Schaller, is the one who saw the vehicle and the guy picking up Amber. And so we've got, you know, when we get to a trial, if it happens, you know, we've got witnesses. A lot of people don't realize there are witnesses. And then he starts to talk about the memorial Facebook page, how it brought these families together. It's all of these women, the mother Mary of Shannon, Lorraine, Kim, Missy, who is Maureen's sister. It brought all of these girls together, all these women together. And so they were talking to each other in the background also. Right? A lot of digital. There's a lot of digital. There's a lot of DNA evidence. There's actually quite a bit of evidence. There really is. This is going, you know, we're only making these to be like 7 inches, but this thing looks a lot wider than that. I remember when I made this square, Nisi, you probably remember, look, it's at 10. Should I take it out or I'm just going to keep going? That's going to be huge. See, that's the problem with the triple crochet. Well, if I squish it together, it's more like 9. It'll be all right. I'll just keep going. Hello, Donna. Good for pots and pans. Yep, it will be. You can really get your hand around it. Okay, I'll just keep going then. But just know that if you are doing these as a regular square, that you might want to adjust it, because if you're doing them all the same size, this one is not going to be the same. I remember that when I made those squares too. So then we go into where law enforcement went out and where they were doing like a cursory search of right along Gilgo Beach, and they found a 5th body farther into the brush. So they began to comb through. This was after, now I'm not sure if that's right. I can't remember if it was before it turned cold and snowy or if it was after. But they were combing this area along about 7 miles along Ocean Parkway. They had dogs and helicopters and officers and drones. It's just like the other day, what they did the other day. This is what they did back then. And then they found 3 more bodies, and they found the parts and pieces of the bodies that were connected to the other cases and bodies that were up on Fire Island and up at farther up where they were searching the other day. I'm so glad you're here, Ola Joe. I hope you are well. And I hope Mr. Sailor is well too. Hugs to you, my friend. You remember the triple effect, she says. Yep. Okay. I figured you remembered. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I can kind of picture that now. Now, While all this is going on, none of the bodies were Shannon. None of the bodies were Shannon Gilbert, who they were actually looking for, and who really created this storm of finding the bodies in the first place. So Mary went public with the information that she had, that Peter Hackett had called her. And then all this attention went to Peter Hackett, back to Oak Beach, and Peter Hackett, and a whole bunch of media attention. They started to try to catch him and interview him. They interviewed his wife, and his wife literally stood by her man. Literally. Her name is Barbara. She did nothing but talk about what a good guy he was and how he'd been involved with the law enforcement, and anybody just had to look at his record and they would know, and all of those things. Mary and some of her friends got together and they walked Oak Beach, and she knocked on doors, including Peter Hackett's, and the media was out there, and yeah, the cameras followed her the whole way. So it was, I imagine that was really something. Because Mary was a fireball. She really was. And she was not letting up. Now that, and I know that this is like, feels like we went through that pretty quickly, but I tried to pull the most important parts out. That's chapter 13. Whoop, whoop, you're halfway. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, good. I'm glad he's okay though. Maybe he will get his strength back soon and be able to start doing stuff. Okay, now we're going to cover chapter 14. I don't have a ton of stuff on there. Can anybody think of anything? Laura, did I miss anything really important in chapter 13? Now remember, this is the second half of chapter 13 because we covered part of it last week too. Y'all let me know if I have missed anything really important that you, like Annie, I know you read the book too, so I'm not really sure how many of you have actually read the book, but I know that you've been following along with me through this. I know you have. But those of you that have read it, just kind of give me a little heads up if you think that I missed something important. Because I don't want to totally cover the entire book like page for page, because really that would not be a proper thing for me to do. Then the name of the book, we are doing Lost Girls by Robert Kolker. And there is a movie based on the book on Netflix called Lost Girls. Now, chapter 14, he starts to tell us more about his interviews with the victims' sisters, mothers, family, all of those. He gets to interview and talk to them, and he starts telling us more about his interviews with them. And the first one he interviews is Missy, who is Maureen's sister. And I really feel like Missy is in a lot of ways as vocal as Mary. And she is still working very hard. Y'all know what time it is, right? You did watch the movie. Okay, good. Okay, good. Yes. And we can talk about that too. Yes, we can. We can talk about that too here in a minute, Sharon. Y'all, let me go see if Mr. Fiber is still awake, because if he's not, then I've got to do green toy. Yep, it's green toy. Is it time, Bubby? Is it time? He's sleeping over here. Those walks are really doing him a lot of good, y'all. Okay, come on. Let's go. Okay, I'm back. Mr. Fiber is going to take care of it. Oh, he took the boys for their walk this morning. He's been walking them since I've had my boot on. And Serves is so much calmer, and he's doing so much better. His back leg between the medicine and the walking has shrunk. It was really big on that leg, that his bad leg. It has shrunk. He's shrinking a little bit. He's slimmed up a little bit. He's looking so good. They're just both doing really, really good. Yes, a tired dog is a good dog. Yes. Oh, cataracts. Oh, that sucks. Yes, the movie is on. Absolutely. Yes, it's on Netflix. Yep, that's right. Oh, okay. I have them, but they don't affect me right now. But I need to go back to the eye doctor because I can't see right now. I'm having issues. You see me doing a lot of this. Whenever you guys see that, that means I have 3 places to look, and I'm only really able to see through one of them. But I'm already in a habit of looking, in certain places for certain things depending on what I'm doing. So I do that by habit, and then I have to stop and change it. Yes. Okay, I will. I'll tell him. Yeah, she's in her recliner too. There's nothing wrong with your recliner. Living from the lounge chair, right? Having blurry vision. Yeah, but that's not, the cataracts is not my problem. My problem is that my eyes are changing again from where I had my eye surgery way back years ago, and that has failed. And I had that last little bit, and now it's changed, but they've changed in such a way that they're not back like where they were, because now I've aged. So it's a whole new area of life journey with the eyes. So I will be thinking about you though, Annie, because that's an awesome thing. Oh, he's having it too. I hope you can get that figured out soon. Who knows? I may go and they may say that mine are bad enough again, that I can have something done with them, but I doubt it. I doubt that they're ready yet. But I know everyone usually that has the cataract surgery, they're just pleased as punch once they get it done. Okay, let me go back to this. So eventually, Robert Kolker, the author, has interviews with all the girls, all the women. The women get together. He gathers them in New York at a studio. Well, they meet at a hotel first, several of them, and then they go to the studio, to someplace like a studio. And so it's like Missy and Lorraine and Kim and Mary and Lynn and Jeff and Amanda. Lynn and Jeff are Melissa's parents, and Amanda, the sister, and they all get together. Lorraine, because they're going to be doing the vigil on Oak Beach. They're going to be doing that walk, that vigil with the candles and doing the walk. So he says, let's sit down and let's everybody get together and talk. And it's the first time they all get to see each other. They've been talking online for a long time, but this is like the very first time they get to see each other. And that part really tracks with the movie. So you know, it really tracks with the movie. And the movie is not the actual, there are excerpts from the real people, but there's a lot of acting also in that Netflix, just so y'all know. It's like a combination of both. They talk, the first thing they do is they talk about phones. The fact that some of their phones, the girls' phones, were never found. Like Mary said, they hadn't found Shannon's phone. The other girls talk about what networks that their sisters were, or their daughter, or whoever was their phone, and who had control. Like Amber's phone was being used by 3 different people. And they discussed how they asked for, like Missy said, I just said, I want her records. I'll give you whatever you want, but you're going to have to send me her records. And she finally got them. And she said there was, Melissa's phone actually was turned on and pinged in Massapequa, right there where Rex Huberman was. So there's that. That's Maureen's phone. See what I mean about Maureen? All these little nuances with Maureen. Hi, Debbie. Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, good. I wasn't sure when you were getting it. Good to see you. And then they discussed the man who Amanda had talked to. They were so curious. These women were all so curious, because as far as they knew, she talked to the killer, and they wanted to know more information. And she really, because there's an investigation and because they recorded it, the police did, and all that stuff, she really was kind of trying not to say too much, but to be honest, there's not a lot she could say. She told them that he had this low, in control voice, and she really couldn't say whether he was a New Yorker or where he was from. But again, evidence, not just evidence, but that's like having a witness. I may run out before we get to the 10 inches. This is getting down to the nub here. So then we get into Mary's theory of what happened to Shannon, y'all. And I thought this was very interesting. Mary is Shannon Gilbert's mother, and she had a really hard time being with everybody there. She felt like she didn't belong because she had not found Shannon. So in her mind, Shannon had not passed. Shannon was not dead. Until she found and knew where she was not dead. So she didn't really feel like a part of things. It was really hard for her to be there. But her theory is that Brewer, that was the date, Pack, who was the driver, and Hackett, who was the doctor, that they were all involved. And she said that Pack often drove girls to Brewer's for parties. Brewer was a party guy, like we talked about, and so he had a lot of parties there. And he said that he did not have sex with Shannon. He said that she came over, they did drugs, and then she had her episode and she left. And Mary thinks that this was kind of going to be like a private little party kind of thing. And so Pat brought her over. And that made him a little more involved than just being a driver. And that Hackett was on the board association, and he had access to the security. And so she blamed him for the missing security tapes of Shannon running there on Oak Beach. And she thinks that they all underestimated Shannon and what she was capable of doing, how strong she was. That's kind of what her theory was. And she didn't understand. Now Kim's theory was that Shannon got high with Brewer. A lot of the women did not want to admit that the girls actually were doing drugs. They didn't want to admit that. They wanted to say, no, they would just, dabble in it for the date, but that they weren't really into the drugs. I mean, we know that Amber Costello, she started out for the money. She got hooked on the drugs. And there's a lot of theories. Like I said, we're going to go out into the weeds here pretty soon, but there's a lot of theories on parties and drugs. So, but the women at this meeting, they really did not want to admit how much of an impact the drugs had. And she thinks that Shannon got high with Brewer. Brewer, somehow he spooked her. But she said the thing that she didn't understand is why Shannon did not run back to the driver. Why did she run from him? Mary thinks she and Pack fought over the money. Kim, because Kim, who was Amber's sister, she was also an escort. And she said they all did drugs. She said she told them, she says, you guys are not, you're just not listening. They did drugs, you're just not admitting it. They had the vigil, and there was a lot of press there. There was a press conference where Mary got up and talked to the press and said, you know these women, you know these girls. These girls are your girls. They could be your girls. These are regular girls. Just because they did what they did not make them human, regular girls like anybody else. And then he went into the fact that lots of the women had, and family members had, interviews after, and then all of these documentaries and stuff happen after that also. So that's chapter 14, y'all. That is chapter 14. And that's all we're going to cover of the book tonight. Look at that. I did it under an hour. So we're also going to talk about dumbbell here in a minute too. I wanted to talk for a minute about a couple of podcasts. I have been talking about it, about the LISK podcast, which is very good. I really enjoy the way that they approach everything. And they have a lot of interviews with family members. They get, if y'all remember, I think I did talk about this last time. They have interviews with law enforcement. They had one with one guy who was on the team that was investigating, and he was one of the ones that was made to retire. We talked about this when we were doing the episode on Jimmy Burke. This is the book, if you're looking for it on Audible. And this is also what it looks like on Netflix. Robert Kolker, Lost Girls. Hold on. This is the podcast LISK. It's called LISK, Long Island Serial Killer, The Search for Answers. If you're looking for the podcast, there is that one. And then there is another one that I wanted to talk about that I don't think I've mentioned it. If I have, sorry. But this one is called Unraveled. And this one is with Billy Jensen and Alexis Linkletter. That's hard to say. It's called Unraveled. Now, Billy Jensen, if you remember, did a podcast with Paul Holes for a while before they canceled that one. So, and here's the thing about Alexis Linkletter. She was a schoolmate and a longtime friend of Christopher Loeb. Now, Christopher Loeb is the one who took down Jimmy Burke. He's the one that stole the duffel bag from Jimmy Burke. She was friends. And so if you go to listen to that podcast, it's very interesting how they have this relationship where they're talking to Christopher Loeb and they interview him. Hey, Lori. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Friday to you. The Delphi murder trial, Richard Allen's been postponed again to October. Okay. I am going to have to sit down and do a catch up and write some notes about that stuff too. Hey, Dawn's World. Oh my goodness. Good to see you, girl. So glad you came by. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to do, because I know some of you, an hour is kind of a while. I'm going to do a giveaway now, and then we're going to talk about dumbbell. Okay? But before I do, I want to say thank you to all the lurkers. Isn't that the cutest thing? That's so cute. That's so cute. I also want to say thank you to all of my members. And if you didn't see it, you need to go over and watch the latest episode of Knit for Brains podcast because she's wearing the shirt. And if you didn't see it, you need to go over to Freehandly Made and watch when she unboxed the cup because she's got the cup. So cool to see it out there. Laura's wearing the shirt and it's like, oh my gosh, she's got serbs on. She's got serbs on. It's just so cool. It's kind of weird at the same time, but it's so fun. And I really thank you guys for that so much. So I have this. I took my minis and I put them all into one. And I have these eggs. I got these around Easter time, but these are cats. Look at the cats. Each one of these has a number in it. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to mark the chat. And then you're going to put the word cats. So put the word cats in. And then, and I mean, like this one looks like an elephant. And then, so I think they're all different animals. I say they're cats. They're not all cats. There's a lot of cats in here. Like this one is like a hippo. So anyway, when I think this one's there. So cute. And then we're going to pick, I'll let you pick is what's going to happen. And in my hallway here, down this hallway and in that little cubby, I have already made bags. Now they're not sealed. So you will be able to choose if you want to know what's in the bag or not. If you want to be surprised, then I will find the coordinating bag for you and I will ship it to you and you can just be surprised. And if not, if you're like, no, I want to see what it is, then I'll show everybody what you're going to get before I send it off to you. How fun is that? I come up with a good idea every now and then. I found something the other day and I wanted to show y'all because I don't know how many of you have seen this. Well, if you go to my playlist on the She Shed, like the She Shed story, the pictures are in there when we converted this over into, oh, y'all, how about Throwback Friday? You're all ready for a Throwback Friday? Haven't changed a bit, right? Pregnant with Chelse in that picture. Here it is. This hallway is open to the house, okay? But this is what it looked like when Mr. Fiber was about to do that. This back wall, he took this back wall out, cut a hole there for a doorway, and then attached it to the house. That's where the commode and the sink and everything was. And the little closet is right here that I'm talking about. It's where my hot water heater was, and that's where I've got the bag sitting. Okay. Yes. That was the bathroom. Now, I was doing hair in here, but that was the bathroom. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you. Was I doing hair when I was pregnant with Chelse? No, I was working manufacturing when I was pregnant with Chelse. Coming up? I can't move the boot, bud. Are you stuck? There you go. That better? Okay. Okay, I'm trying to count. Where did it start? Where did it start with cats? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, Catbird. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Am I right? I think I got 16. Okay. A number between 1 and 16.
It's 10.
Did you hear? It's 10. Number 10. Thank you. Okay, I was right on the 16. Now find out who number 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it you, Lori? Oh my gosh. Laura, you were almost there. Hello, Laura Coffin. Hello, Karen. Good to see you guys. Okay, am I right that it's Lori? Okay, Lori. Tell me what color. We have purple, we have white, we have gray, and we have teal. Tell me what color, Lori, and I will pick one of these. Yes, you? You want a purple hippo, a teal elephant, a white cat. Teal, of course. Okay, I'm just picking one. It's going to be random. Number 4. Let me go. Now, do you want to know what's in it, Lori? Laura, you had your ovaries out. Oh my gosh. How are you doing? And you're here visiting with us. Thank you, first of all. And I hope that everything went well and you are not in any pain. That is awesome. I'm so glad you were able to get that done. Tamara just had that done too. And Lori just had that done recently too. That's your lucky number? How fun is that? Yes. Show the people the pretties, she says. Yes, hugs for you, Laura. Okay, so I'm going to take both the number and the deal, and I'm going to put it somewhere else. It'll take me a minute to find the right one. My gosh, I picked it right out. I picked it right out. I didn't even have to take them all out. So here's the bag. Now all of the prizes are going to be, the bags are all different sizes. They're all different things. And y'all, I can't even tell. Is it going to surprise y'all at all that I can't even tell at all? And I made a dent by packing these 10 bags. 10 bags. Oh my gosh, Lori, look. Red Heart Comfort Chunky in claret or Bordeaux. Now, didn't you just get one of these, Lori? Wasn't that you that got one of these? Oh my gosh, that's funny. And then there's this bag. You get the Lion Brand North Pole candy cake in green, white. Somebody got one. Maybe it was Bree. I lose track. And in red, white. These are 4-weight, I believe. Yes, these are 4-weight. And then this bag has this is a 5-weight. It's the velvet yarn. It is a big bag. I can't even tell. Now some stuff came out of my closet. So, but I kid you not that I cannot really tell that I made a dent loading these bags together. You're also going to get, this is one of those handles. This is highlighter tape. You can take a little piece off and put it on your pattern and you can see through it. And then you get these little buttons that look like paw prints. Don't worry, I have more of them. And each one of these has some sort of a bag in it. And you're going to get the hedgehog. It's canvas. It's got 2 pockets here. It's a very nice one. Very nice. Congratulations, Lori. It's a big bag of stuff. Yes, the highlighter tape is so cool. I have one. I bought several colors. And honestly, you can make one little piece of this go a long ways. I just put one in the book on a pattern that I use a lot. And I haven't had to change that piece of tape in forever. It lasts a long time. So that's your bag, Lori. How fun is that? Okay. I have to get all this back in here. Let me go put it down on my table. Okay. Now I need to open this because Katie's here. I want to open this while she's here. And then we are going to talk about Daybell a little bit. You're welcome. Now, I also just had, so Nancy Mac won the members giveaway. Now, this is from Naughty Knitting Sacks, and it's my favorite. It is my favorite. I now have matching. I love them. I love them. So I have this one, which is I guess you call this like a medium bag. But now I have this one. I know I can reuse that bag, but I probably won't. And this one, oh, I love it. I love it. Is a tote. Oh, it's awesome. It's got a pocket on the outside. Oh, I love it. And on the inside, it's naughty. Are y'all ready? Now, if you don't want to see the naughty, if you're lurking and it's just, she's girthy. Oh my gosh, she's girthy and I love them girthy. I like them girthy like me. If you're not sure you want to see the naughty, now's the time to look away and come back in a second, because it is. It's got this beautiful, almost like a paisley. I don't even know if y'all can see what it says. There you go. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, Katie. Oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. She is girthy. I could probably put 5 of them in there. Oh, I love it. I love this material. So good. Thank you, Katie. I love it. Y'all, she has some of the greatest material, and she's starting to make some of them. Y'all have to go over and check her out. Naughty Knitting Sack on Etsy. Did I show that? Let me show her thing one more time so y'all can see it. I'll show you her thing. There's her thing. Oh my gosh. And she has a podcast. She put her link in here. Oh, so good. How fun. We're having fun now. Oh, it's too late, Rosie. You have to refresh. You're a little behind, you're lagging a little bit. You'll have to go out and come back in, sweetie. You missed what it said? Another shop update next Friday. Woo! Y'all be waiting. Go over and like. Okay, hang on. I'll show you again, Tamra. Be ready. Let me give it a little cuff. Let me give it a cuff so you can see. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of upside down too, isn't it? How's that? It's great. I wanted, girl, in a perfect world that it had them balloons in it, but that's okay. I'm going to get some of them balloons, maybe next Friday. Yes, we're always having fun here. Exactly. But she has one material and it says everything. And I want that one too. I want that one and the balloons. Medicines. Who needs medicine? Okay. What was the other thing I was going to tell y'all? You're ordering some more balloon doggies. Oh my God, I love them balloon doggies. I love them. Yeah, the upside down was French. God, that's funny. Okay. Now y'all saw it. That's good. Now we're talking dumbbell. Y'all, I have been watching. I've not been taking a lot of notes, but I just want to say the last couple of days, I have finally felt that Chad's shit is cooked. That's how I feel about this. The last Thursday and Friday, in my estimation. Now, if you are someone who would rather see, let me just say, Nate Eaton of East Idaho News is also covering the trial. And every night he's doing, and he's probably on right now because he was going to be late tonight because he was going home. And he said they were going to be on late this evening. So he's probably on right now. But he is covering the trial, and every night he does Courtroom Insider. And if you don't want to sit through the entire day's worth of court, you can kind of get a synopsis, and he does an excellent job. Nate is such a sweetheart too. So I would say go over, and the 52 pickup. Yes, I want to talk about that. I've got it right here. Not happy. It is not bringing me joy. This is my 52 pickup. Let me tell you the problem I'm having with it. Let me bring it in here. Here's the problem. I love these colors. I love the yarn. I love everything about the colors, the yarn. It feels really good. But it's just not, it feels like it's like a slog. It feels like it's taking forever. And I kind of feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and I'm going to do it in crochet where it would go a little quicker. What do you guys think? I need some input on this. You're not feeling it either. So I'm not the only one, and maybe that's some of what is going on, is that just not. You've been watching Nate? Okay, good. So you were having issues with it too. I would really like to follow that, and I just have not, because I've been watching the other. That's so funny, Lori. She says, my son and husband came in the room as you started talking about girth and naughty sacks. And they stopped dead in their tracks to watch, and your son said, it's not your grandma's crochet, chat. Okay, do we need a shirt? It's not your grandma's crochet, chat. We need a shirt, don't we? Oh, good God, that's funny. That's funny right there. Grandma's crochet shirt. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Lori, winner. It's not your grandma's. Y'all, nobody steal that from me, okay? It's not your grandma's crochet, chat. God, I've got to find something good to put in there with that. Great t-shirt. Oh, that is so funny. I love it. I love that. So y'all aren't going to really hate me if I take this out. My other option is this. It is just about halfway to a cowl. I could go ahead with it and make it, do another time of it, or get it to a point and make it into a cowl. See, I could do that. That's the other possibility, instead of taking it out. So that is the 52 pickup mail, in case y'all are wondering what has happened to it. Okay, put you on the list. If it doesn't bring you joy. I know. Okay, I will let y'all know when I get it finished, but I think that one, that's perfect. That is just, it's just perfect. I've just got to find the right stuff to put with it. Oh my gosh. Okay, dumbbell trial. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the dumbbell trial, that is Chad Daybell, also known as the Prophet Murder Trial. He is the husband of Lori Shallow Daybell, whose children became missing, and we didn't know anything about Chad Daybell. We knew that Lori had children. We knew that they went missing, and I, like the rest of you, have been following this ever since we learned that there were missing children. And on my birthday, June the 9th of 2020, the children were found in Chad's backyard, buried in his backyard. Lori Vallow, last year she was convicted of killing, conspiring and killing. She got the death penalty taken off the table, but she was convicted of killing Chad's wife, Tammy, and her 2 children, Tylee and JJ. She is now in Arizona, where she's going to be tried for killing her husband, Charles Vallow. Okay, thank you, Joyce. Thank you so much for my tea. I loved it. So good. So good. I think you're right, Annie. Just frog it. I think it's going to get frogged. Haven't touched it in months. Okay. So, Thursday, y'all know how I like my forensics, right? I like my forensics. Thursday was the DNA expert was on. And the expert said that she had known samples. Some of them, they tested a whole bunch of stuff from Lori's apartment. And she had known samples from JJ, Tylee, Lori, Chad, Melanie Gibb, Richard Mowell, and Dennis Trahan. Dennis Trahan is JJ's father. But I don't know who the Richard Mowell person was. Okay? So, I'm not sure. Does anybody know who that is? Because I totally missed it. If it was brought up, I missed it. There was a sample of blood from the wall that was not tested. Now, I learned listening to her that several of the samples did not get tested because they were what she called consumptive. Consumptive is where they tested it for the blood and they knew it was blood, but once they tested it for blood, they didn't have enough to test after that. They only had enough there. It was only enough there to know that it was blood. There was nothing left. It was used up. Oh, well, I'm going to catch you up then. Which one? Which one be live? Which one? We're talking Daybell right now. That trial, it is live right now. If you're talking about the trial, it has been going on. I think we are on day 20 something of the trial. So we don't know. There was blood on the wall, but we don't know. This was in the apartment. This was in Lori's apartment. She tested a lot of tape. I'm going to go back to my washcloth while I'm talking to y'all. She tested a lot of tape, and a lot of the tape, she said that she tested in several spots. So like she had like 18 pieces, but each one she might have tested in like 20 different spots on each one. So she did a lot of tests. And y'all keep in mind that they do have budgets for these labs where they can only do so much testing, that they're only allowed a budget of doing so much. She also tested tools from the garage, a necklace, Y'all, that was Tylee's necklace. And lots of plastic. So there was plastic bags, plastic that was around JJ's head and neck. Tools, there were shovels. Then they actually, for the first time, they brought some things into, they had pictures of tools. They also, so I think they brought them in because she got off of the stand. And we are getting to see things this time in the courtroom, but wherever she was standing, which was somewhere in front of the jury, we didn't get to see her stand there. But she showed us, I guess they brought the shovel in. I don't know. Can't tell you. But it appeared to have burnt human remains on it. And again, a lot of them, she was unable to get DNA. And she said that the heat, the burning and the heat would have played a big factor in that, which is why even though you could see the remains and you could see that it, something that looked like remains, and you could see that it was burnt, you could not really get the DNA out of it. They were dirty and they had ash on them. Sitting in Chad's garage. Now, if she's asking about Lori's trial in Arizona, that would be, I think that's going to be, it happened in Gilbert, and I don't know what county that's in, so I don't know for sure. We don't know yet whether that's going to be televised. I believe that they decided it was televised, but they're still having hearings on that one for her, trying her for Charles Vallow. If she's asking about that trial. She tested a green material that may have been Tylee's shirt. She tested a pickaxe, which had DNA on the handle. It had ash and dirt on the eye of the pickaxe. She was able to get a partial DNA profile from the pickaxe, and it was Tylee's. She also found blood on the handle, which was Tylee's. But a lot of the tools, when she was deciding what to test and which areas to swab, she did not swab all of the handles because they wanted to get the fingerprints off of them. And if she swabbed them for the blood and DNA, they would not have been able to get good prints. Good night, Kathy. I know some of you have to leave me. I'm doing a double tonight with the two things, but I appreciate you coming tonight. Have a great weekend. And anybody else that has to leave, I really understand. But I really wanted to go over this stuff tonight. She collected hairs from the tape. She was not able to get DNA from the hairs because the hairs have to have the little bulb on the end, the cuticle with it. So she sent everything that was hair to an outside lab. And the hair that was taken off of the black bag that was surrounding JJ had Lori's hair on it. Now, something interesting that did actually happen during the cross-examination with oh gosh, I just drew a blank on his name. Happy Mother's Day to you too. Yes. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Follicle. Thank you, Katie. Thank you. Katie knows this stuff. She studied it. Oh gosh. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? On the defense lawyer? Good Lord. This is what's been happening with me lately. Me too, Katie. It's my favorite part of the true crime stuff is the forensics. I don't know why it fascinates me the way it does. She said something about 18 tools tested, 9 were positive for blood. Chad's DNA was not on the tools. Blood samples were consumptive or used up, but the prints were from Alex. And that came out on cross. You can't think of it either. Annie, you usually help me out here. What the heck? And I think that a lot of the questions that he was asking on cross. Okay, good night, Joan. I appreciate you being here tonight. I love y'all. I don't know why I can't think of his dang name. But he was trying to make a reference to the fact that isn't it possible, or it might have been a different witness that he was cross-examining, but isn't it possible that they try to put it in the jury's mind that the remains could have been moved? I don't know if anybody else picked up on that. Then they had Nesbitt, which is the officer who was in Kauai. He served Lori the papers to produce the kids. That's the one where we saw Nate, chase down Lori and Chad. That was that. They showed the video at the pool when they served her the papers. They did a search of the condo and the vehicle. And here's the part that was really wild when it came down to the vehicle, guys. And that is all the stuff that was found in the vehicle. It freaked me out. It was like so chilling. They had in a bag, in a floor, they had JJ's iPad. There was another iPad, probably Tylee's. Like 15 death certificates for Charles Vallow. JJ and Tylee's social security cards, birth certificates. There were death certificates for Tammy. There was a paper for the property in Arizona that Charles bought for Lori prior. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't remember it. And then there was the letter that Alex read. The patriarchal blessing was in a letter form for Alex, and that was in there. In a black backpack, there was a MacBook, an HP laptop. There was an envelope with over $10,000, but they did not find much of anything in the condo. There were 2 bicycles in the back of the car, so I guess they must have been planning on riding the bicycles around Kauai. because they were adult bicycles, not kids. We know the kids' bicycles were in the storage. There was lots of stuff in the condo for them, but no kids stuff anywhere in the car, condo, anywhere. Nothing except for all that. Isn't it weird? I know. I agree. I agree, Lori. I agree. So then we had the FBI intelligence analyst. His last name was Dean. And he said that he did a review in January of 2020 for the electronics and of a hard drive and some other stuff that he took. Well, he had a hard drive with all this stuff, and he took it that he received, and it had all the Cellbrite stuff in it. And this was finished in May. That we had Tammy's phones. We had the fact that Tammy's phone stopped on the 18th of October. She died that night into the 19th. There was a conversation that Chad had with Tammy, if y'all remember this one, that happened on the 9th of September 2019, where he said at 10:53 in the morning, he said, I had an interesting morning. I saw a raccoon. One shot did the trick. Fun times. Now, I abbreviated that. And then he said he was going to go take a shower and go up to BYU to do some writing. She said, good for you, at 1:47, in which he answered, well, I'm back home now. Tylee was last seen at Yosemite on the 8th of September. We had several co-workers of Tammy's who came up and talked about how healthy she was. And we heard about, on Cross, we heard about the essential oils. That's most of Thursday. Then on Friday, oh, 34 years. Oh, awesome. Yeah, you are having a big weekend. Mr. Fiber and I are going to go to breakfast Sunday morning. The deputy coroner was on this morning, and I've not seen all of today's. There are a few with people that were on the stand this afternoon that I have not seen. So I don't have all of today's. But the deputy coroner, we got the picture of the bedroom where Tammy was found, where there was this towel laying on the floor, and she talked about that towel that the coroner, Brenda Dye, picked that up and wiped that pink foam off of Tammy's mouth and how it came back. And she said, okay, that's weird. Because normally, I mean, this is a dead body. If you wipe that off, it shouldn't come back. There shouldn't be more of it. And both of these coroners were fairly new. And neither of them had seen the need to have an autopsy until after they got more information. And that's when Tammy was exhumed. And then we had Williams, I forget her first name, Tammy's, Mr. Williams, which was Tammy's sister's husband. That'd be Tammy's brother-in-law. And he was close to Chad. And he talked quite a bit about Chad and their relationship. And he got a little freaked out by Chad. Later down the road, he got a little freaked out by what Chad was saying. That he was asked how he saw Chad and Tammy's relationship. Did they have a good relationship? I'm just doing single crochets now because this is all I have left. Oh, yeah, Pryor says dug up. Exactly. Yeah. the exhumation prior was saying, dug up. They dug up Tammy. Oh, that's nice. You'll have a real pretty yard. Mr. Fiber's mowing tomorrow. Yep, Mr. Fibers is going to be changing to Annie. I'm going to be missing him quite a bit. He may be going to more hours himself. I feel you there. Although I did get quite a bit done today with him being gone. So Chad told the brother-in-law that his relationship with Tammy was vanilla. It was bland. He told him that he had a near-death experience in La Jolla, California, where he was in the ocean. A large wave came in. There was a lot of rocks. He got smashed up against the rocks, and it tore up his back. Then he had another time in Flaming Gorge, Utah, where when he was younger, he was jumping off of cliffs. When he hit the water, he said he felt his spirit separate from his body. He said that Chad's beliefs changed in approximately 2006, 2007, when he started writing his books. And he became more hyper-focused on the end of times. That he started receiving visions in around 2010, 2011 about the last days. Now, instead of those previous events being just regular events. Good night, Katie. Thank you so much for my bag. I appreciate it. Hey, Granny. Oh, you did get it. Yay. Oh, that's awesome. And a raise. Whoop, whoop. Crafty Annie needs to email MDL Crochet because you won his giveaway. Thank you, Nisi. Okay. I'm going to call this one done, y'all. I got this little bit left, but I don't care. I actually finished one of these. I don't usually get it finished on here. It wound up to be eight by 9 or 10. 10 if it's stretched, 9 if it's not. Almost a square. Awesome. Oh, that is good. You'll just transition right into the new one. That is so good. So now Chad's, instead of those previous events being just, life-changing kind of things, now they were near-death experiences. He said that the water event in California, that he saw a relative that had passed, and at the cliff event that he had, it changed, that one changed to that the veil was opened and that was a near-death experience. Chad said there would be 2 earthquakes in 2013-14. There was going to be a big one called the Wasatch, and there was going to be invasions and destruction. And at first, some of what Chad was saying he said he kind of went with it for a while. And then he perceived it to be kind of a fear tactic. Because Chad wanted their families to move to Rexburg together because, as we know, Chad was talking about how that was going to be the place where things happen. That was the city of light. That was supposed to be a refuge. Now, if I'm a juror at this time and I'm hearing this brother-in-law say all of these things, it tells me that Chad was trying to have more leadership. He was trying to gain a bigger role, looking for more followers. And he was doing this before he met Lori. If I'm a juror, that's what I'm thinking. But this was before Lori. All of this stuff he was doing, that's before Lori. Good evening, Mary. How are you? So glad you're here tonight. I'm almost done, y'all. But Tammy's sister, who he was married to, was not supposed to come because she had dark spirits in her. And then she was on after him. They refused to leave. They refused to move with him. And one of the things that he had told him was that he did not want him to tell people. He didn't want him to tell people what he was doing. And he said, well, okay, well, what about the kids? And Chad told him, my kids are good at keeping secrets. We've learned a lot about what was going on in that family that we did not know during Chad's trial. These are things that did not come out during Lori's trial. And he wanted to know, because this was after Chad and Lori, after the move, after Chad and Lori were together, and they talked again. Tammy was dead, all of that stuff, and she was being exhumed. And Chad wanted to know if they were responsible for Tammy being exhumed. And then we heard a phone conversation that he had and that he recorded for the police, because by then he had spoken to the police and they had told him about these missing children of Lori's that he didn't know anything about. And Chad and Lori were blaming everything on Heather Daybell, who's married to his brother, and the officer that was connected her to Heather Daybell's daughter. So his niece. And then we had the FBI person was Heidemann, and I don't remember her first name, but she did the research on their wedding plans. And so the jury learned today that her search showed up where Chad and Lori both were doing the searches for the malachite ring and the wedding stuff, and that was on October 4th. Tammy did not die until October 19th. Charles was already dead. And there was a piece of paper or something that she found in her media file on Lori's account, and it had James and Raphael, which were names for him, and Lily, which was her, and that they were going to get married on Tuesday, and that they had malachite rings. And all of that was on this document. And then in July, there was a message from Chad to Lori saying, I feel she will be gone by then. That's before the rings. On October 30th, which is right before they went over to Hawaii, Lori requested a wedding in Kauai for November 5th, and that is the day they got married. So all of that was given to the jury today. And I really feel like, you guys, that the stuff that was given to them today is going to really make them think all weekend and mull over that. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll take time to relax, but that certainly gave them a lot of information that didn't look good for chat. Okay, anybody have any questions? Oh my goodness. That's a lot, huh? We did almost 2 hours, but I felt like it was important to get this far along with everything. And I finally felt like it, because I don't always. Mr. Fiber works a part-time job, but he may be moving into working more hours. So he's been the one. I cannot wait to get this boot off. I have a lot to tell you guys and to show you guys. I finished the sweater. Did you guys notice the sweater was behind me? I guess I'm just too noisy over here. The Serbs left me. Let me put it on for you. I finished it and I have washed it. I will be showing this on my video. And I will tell you why I have it. Oh, it turned out so good. It is a big, oversized, which is what I wanted. It turned out so soft once it was washed with that Bernat chunky. And this one is mine. I got to keep this one. She decided she wanted a different color. And I am going to wear this one like a house jacket. It's so stinking comfortable. But it'll be easier to see when I do the video. Sometimes hard to see it here. But I'm so proud of it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. That is all I have. Again, no questions. If you have questions and you want to leave me something down below, you can do that after this posts. And again, I think, just a reminder that I take everybody who has been here and left a message here in the live chat, and I put their names in the wheel. And I also put names if anybody leaves a comment after the video has posted down below. Those names go in. And then if you make something during the club, then you get another entry, an extra entry. So those names I will pick. So I think we're going to probably, I don't know if it'll be 2 weeks, but I'm thinking we can do 2 more sessions with the book. So be thinking, does she come back this coming Sunday? Oh, good. I am keeping it. I originally started making the black one for myself. You know, I made both of my girls a gray one. And then I had started the black one, and I finally finished it thinking that because it was one of the colors that the girl wanted. So I sent the picture to Chelse, and she said she could pick between the black one and the gray, and she wanted the gray. So I will be showing you guys what that looks like in the video. So be looking for that. I'm so glad. It'd be good to hang out with Christy again. Okay, you guys. That's it. I'm out. Peace out. Yes, I will see you as soon as I can. I'm hoping to do the video for you guys so you can see everything. And then I don't know. I've got some more appointments. So Thursday I go to see the podiatrist again. That's this coming Thursday. Let's hope I can take the boot off. Y'all, I love y'all. Anybody who's not feeling well, I'm sending you my love and my hugs. Have fun today, and I'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here.